everybody. It's the weekly wrap-up, November 1st, 2013. And one clip again. Hey, this clip took me a while. I had to really work on all of the audio files, just getting those audio files together on the 3 different recognition songs for your descending intervals 6 through 8. Took me a little longer than normal. Sometimes it just does. Anyway, it's done, and it's in the can, as they say, and up on the server, and you guys can, if you have access to the website, you can certainly check out Step 8 in the Harmony course. And what that is, again, is the rest of the descending intervals of all 12 of the intervals. So now, if you've been going through the Harmony course, at this point in time, you have different recognition songs to help you understand all of the intervals, 12 ascending and 12 descending. So you've got all of the intervals related to one note chromatically, and that is a very good thing. Now, if you really can remember all of these intervals, and you have these intervals in your mind, you're so far ahead of the game, both as a lead singer and on your road and way to great harmony singing. Now, it's been fun to get that together for you, but as I keep telling everybody, this is all prep work to get into really vocalizing and singing harmony. Now that we've got this prep work out of the way, I look forward to what we're going to start to do now, because we're going to start to have you really sing and hold harmony parts and build other harmony parts around. And as we get farther up the road in this harmony course, I'm going to teach you lots of things about harmony that you may or may not know, even if you're already a good harmony singer. Example, in the future, talking about the leading tones and what notes you really put at the top of the harmony to make certain things happen. And that completely depends upon what we're talking about here, meaning if it is a background harmony part, if it's 4-part vocal harmony, harmonizing melody lines, and where you put the melody line, like in choir, or just in 4-part barbershop quartet, or in some kind of a bebop choir that's singing really, really hip, close harmonies with minor seconds all over the place, which turn out to be major and minor 9s. We'll talk about it. All of those things are coming, and it is going to teach you so much about harmony. And my world is harmony. When it comes to music, it really doesn't matter what instrument I'm playing. I can be playing the violin. Trust me, if you're playing the violin in the world of strings, it's all about harmony parts. I can be playing the guitar. In the world of guitar, it's all about chord changes and where you're going. I can be playing the piano. It's all about chord changes and where you're going and how you complement that melody line and getting strong into the melody line. But most importantly, if you're a singer. Now, if you're a singer, the melody line is everything. And understanding how to harmonize the melody line means that later on, not only can you harmonize the melody line, you can also scat sing. You can also sing like an R&B singer, because what you do is you start to take the melody line and think about the harmony parts to the melody line and use that as fragments and parts of licks and embellishments in different ways that you can weave in and out of the songs. And great singers do that all the time. They have a sense for harmony, whether they're actually singing harmony or not. See, you can sing a solo line and be thinking about harmony by weaving in and out of the chord changes with what it is that you're doing with your voice. All right, can you hear the passion in me in relationship to what I think about this subject? I love this subject, and I love talking about harmony. And the more you work on harmony, the better you get at everything in music. Now, for the musical tip of the week, what key should you be singing your songs in? Is it important? And of course, we already know the answer is yes, it's important. Listen, you should be singing in the key that best suits your voice, not in the key of the artist. Again, I always want to talk about this one because I've lived this all my life, being in different bands. Now, I was in a band one time, one of the many, where everybody was bound and determined to perform all of the songs in the same keys that the records were in, the recordings were in. and felt that we should be doing all of the songs in those keys. And I completely disagreed with that, in meaning that if you want to sing every song in the same key as the artist, well, it's kind of not realistic, because your voice range is not going to be in the same key as all these different artists if you're singing in a top 40s group that's playing in all kinds of different songs from different genres and different singers. No professional singer would ever begin to think about singing a song in a key that wasn't the very best key for their voice. Now, it doesn't mean that you're a bad singer because you can't sing a song in the particular key of the artist. You want to put the song in the key that is best for your voice and for your voice range. Then the quality of your voice comes out, and all of the things that you can do with your imagination and your heart and your musical knowledge will all come out nice and clear, and you'll sound great. But if you're struggling because you're trying to sing something that's too low for your voice or something that's too high for your voice, well, you can't get into the nuances of your voice because you're too busy struggling trying to hit notes that you shouldn't be trying to hit in the first place. So, you need to sing in the right keys. Now, in some occasion, you might meet a producer who wants, if you are a singer and you're singing in the recording studio and you're working with a producer, you might meet a producer who wants you to sing in a certain key that really isn't the best key for you. That's an interesting moment in time, because really the producer should want you to sing in the key that's best for you, and he should put the song in the key that would be best for you. But maybe he feels that the higher key sounds better, that the music was working better in that key, and he wants you as a singer to come in and sing in that key. Well, again, it's going to be a little bit of a dilemma, because you probably won't sing it as well. No matter how well you do, you probably won't sing it as well as if it was keyed perfectly for your voice. So at that moment in time, I guess you could call this public relations, because it's between you and the producer on trying to figure out what really the best course is at that moment in time. Now, the only time that I could flip-flop this and defend the producer or the songwriter, and I just said it, songwriter. Let's say you are a songwriter and you have a particular artist in mind that you wrote the song for. And now you want to go in the recording studio and you want to bring somebody in who basically sounds and sings like that particular artist. That's exactly what you should go look for. Find somebody who can sing in that key, who can sing in that particular artist's key if you had that in mind, and who sort of sounds like that person, so then when you shop the tune, you can send it to them and they, of course, will hear what it is that you're going for. That's the only time, in my mind, that it makes sense to make a singer sing in a key that's not the very best key for their voice. You're going for something different. We're not talking about the singer anymore. We're talking about the song and what we're trying to do with the song. Now, I kind of have a standard approach towards finding the right key for myself and finding the right key for my students when it comes to singing a song. And what I like to do is I like to play the song, sing the song, and then bring the song up a half a step, sing it in that key, go back down, bring the song down a half a step, sing it in that key, maybe go back up, sing it a whole step higher than the original key. And I move it around a little bit that way until I've sung it 3, 4, maybe even 5 times in 5 different keys. And by then, I'll have a pretty good idea as to what key I really want to sing this in, where it feels comfortable. Because sometimes you have a song that's got a lot of high notes in it and less low notes, but it starts off low and then bumps up to high. You start going too high with that, and then you find yourself really pushing yourself on the top of your range. Vice versa, sometimes there's low notes that if you go down too low, even though you're going for the high notes, the low notes lose their quality. So you're looking for this place that sort of balances between the lows and the highs of the song, where you can get the best quality. Now, seriously, I have a pretty good range, and I can sing pretty high, and I can sing pretty low. And so it isn't always just about the fact of, can I sing it in that key? Again, it's just the fact of where's my voice the fattest? Where do I have the most power? When I do hit the high notes, what key would put the high notes in a place where I'm completely confident about them and I can emote the most power and energy into my high notes as well as capture what I'm doing with my low notes? That's what I'm always thinking about whenever I'm trying to figure out the right key. Now, another question that I get about singing a song in key is I'll get singers saying, well, once I find my key, should I sing all my songs in the same key? And the answer to that is no, you shouldn't. Now, maybe if you're singing the blues, you're going to find a lot of songs, because blues songs are very similar in the chord changes, you might find a lot of songs that you sing in similar keys. And there's also the whole guitar vibe when it comes to the blues in relationship to the key of E and the key of A are pretty standard keys that guitar players like to play in doing the blues. And singers sort of weave their way and find notes and melody lines that'll work in those keys sometimes if they happen to be both a guitar player and a singer simultaneously. But again, looking for the best key. And blues are not that hard to play anyway, so really you should be able to, any good blues player should be able to play in all 12 keys in relationship to the chord changes. So again, trying to find the best key for you. To finish answering the question, in relationship to singing all your songs in the same key, no. You need to understand that there's a sweet spot in your voice. It's called a tessitura. And that sweet spot is the 5 or 6 or 7 notes that are really, really where the whole best part of your voice is. And then everything stretches above and below. And if you understand how to go through your chest and your mix in your head and make those transitions, you do it seamlessly and people don't hear it, but you still feel different air pressures inside your throat. So what you're looking for is understanding where that sweet spot is in your voice, the tessitura, and then sort of understanding what the tessitura of the song is. And what the tessitura of the song is that you've got to look at the melody line of the song and see where most of the melody line goes, looking for the lowest note and the highest note, but not always necessarily just the lowest and highest note in the song if a lot of the song is pitched up into the higher notes or vice versa. So you got to kind of figure out what's happening mostly with the song, take your tessitura, figure out from the high and low note what the middle note would be for that melody line, and take the middle of that note and put it in the middle of your tessitura, and that will be the perfect key for you to sing in, or very close. Then again, if you just sing up a half a step or down a half a step just to feel what feels more comfortable for you within that concept, now you're finding the real keys, the right keys for your voice and how it really works. If you were with a music director who was figuring out and arranging songs for you, he would be thinking in the way that I just explained to you, understanding where the strength is in your voice and understanding where the middle of the tessitura is in the song. And matching those two things together will aid you immensely in being able to figure out what key you really should be in. Okay, that wraps up another weekly wrap-up. Next week, harmony course, and I did not put up the advanced voice course lessons yet. There's a few more to go, and I'm working on them. And there's the bebop scale is coming up here, and just like the harmony course, there's a lot of prep work I need to do to make those bebop scales work right. So be expecting to see that soon. And now, when we get into the harmony course here, now that we've got all the intervals out of the way, what does that mean? It means that we go to the next step in the harmony course where we start to sing more, sing more, sing more, sing more, and harmonize and learn how to hold your part. Very important. Okay, see you next week.